No movie has reached the billion-dollar mark faster, and it has a near-perfect 93% approval from the critics collected at Rotten Tomatoes. So what makes The Avengers such a success? Could it be its blatantly pro-America, pro-liberty message? Well, maybe. I'm Steve Green. This is Trifecta, and here to answer that question, the Iron Man and the Captain America, to my agent Phil Coulson, Bill Whittle, and Scott Ott. All right, Bill, this might be the most explicitly pro-liberty blockbuster ever, at least that I can recall. The bad guy, Loki, the god of mischief, does some great monologuing early on in the film. He kills a bunch of people, makes the rest kneel, and tells them, "Kneel, is this not simpler? Is this not your natural state?"
You were made
well,
to be in the end.
That's
You will always kneel.
that's a progressive message, isn't it? Is this resonating with people, do you think, Bill?
I saw that scene of Loki walking out there into the crowd, and I thought, you know what that guy needs is he needs some faux Greek columns. That would just completely set the scene. I'd be 100% on board with the whole movie at that point. So apparently The Avengers has just about broken $1 million, Steve. $1 million this film has made. No, it's actually made $1 billion. It's made
nearly.
1,000 million dollars, and it's on its way to make a lot more too. Somebody said about The Avengers, tongue-in-cheek, obviously, somebody on our team, and I'm going to slander somebody because it was one of our guys on our squad, but somebody said, Avengers off to record opening despite overwhelming handicap of pro-American message, you know, a happy ending, whatever, right? Laid the whole thing out. Hollywood cannot understand it. Box office draws are a measure of success in Hollywood. It's really the only measure they care about. And this will get people's attention. And I just hope personally, from a personal point of view, somebody who works in the entertainment industry, I just pray that Avengers has the legs to overturn that miserable, anti-American, shallow, derivative direct fest called Avatar. That's just all I'm hoping for right now. I'm just hoping that Captain America can put his shield and just kind of hang it on the back of one of those Navi's tails and just kind of kick back and relax and go, oh, hey, that's a real shame there, Jim. Try again with something a little more anti-American next time.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of Avatar in years, and why would I? Scott, I know you're going to love this. There's a nice little tribute to traditional religion, which I know you know because you've seen it 3 times already. Secret's out. But when Captain America was told that Loki is a god, he said, "There's only one God, and he doesn't dress like that." And that, of course, was just before he jumped out of an airplane to do battle. Scott, is this resonating with people?
Well, I'll tell you, the first time I saw it, of the 3 times that I've seen it, and you guys know me, I mean, I'm practically Amish. To get me into a movie theater when there's still a book left in the world that I haven't read is very difficult to do. And I've gone to see this movie 3 times in the last week, and when that line happened in the theater the first time, a cheer erupted from the audience. Like there was applause and laughter and joy. And I think that this is the thing. I walked out of there and I was telling people, hey, I just saw a movie that was entertaining. I had fun. It made me happy. And when I came out, I felt better about life than I did when I went in. Is that so wrong?
No.
You're religious. You're not supposed to enjoy yourself. Go be miserable somewhere, Scott. Bill, I want to show you a little something. It's from an interview with Robert Downey Jr.
Aside from casting, the thing that Marvel does best is they pick the right directors for their projects. And it's always an exciting announcement, but it also always has that extra thing of, oh, you know what? I wouldn't have necessarily thought that, but retrospectively, it makes perfect sense.
Now, the director, Joss Whedon, also wrote the script, and he's a pretty typical Hollywood liberal, and yet he's the same guy who gave us the tributes to liberty like Firefly and Serenity. Bill, what's going on here?
You raise a really interesting point here because the guy who writes these kind of movies and who writes that lines in Firefly and Serenity, so Joss Whedon is a libertarian. He's actually quite a conservative guy. He is a liberal. He calls himself a liberal. But this is the social proof that he needs in order to function in the society that Hollywood is. He can't go around saying these kind of things. Listen, I'm not saying that he's a closet conservative. I'm saying that he's got this internal conflict between what he believes in his heart, which is Iron Man and Firefly and Serenity and Avengers, versus what he's expected to say in order to get along with the people in Hollywood. And one thing I will say about Avengers, and that is this, man. You notice that the movie does not have Captain Planet in there. He's not one of the guys in the giant circle fighting off the bad guys. Captain Planet would have been played by, I don't know, Michael Moore would have been a good choice to play Captain Planet on account of how he's roughly planetary shaped and has his gravitational field as strong as your smaller planetoids anyway. Why didn't they put Captain Planet and the rest of these guys in there? Because you mentioned it earlier, Scott, this is a movie for the rest of us. This is a movie for all those knuckle-dragging, low-sloping forehead types out in flyover country who never get anything on the table anymore from Hollywood. It's made $1 billion. It's going to make another $1 billion. But the key thing in this is how well this movie's done overseas with Captain America and Iron Man, the great American capitalist. It's killing the world. Their theory, the progressive Hollywood theory about the world, is wrong again as usual. And there's your data point. All those Iraq War movies tanked. This thing treats America like an exceptional nation. Not only does Boffo Biz in Boston, it does Boffo Biz in Bangladesh as well.
That's right. And if you haven't seen it yet, folks, it is made of 100% pure awesome. Go see it. All right, Scott, here's the kicker. Will Hollywood learn anything from the success of the Avengers?
Well, I would like to think that they will, but I think experience has shown that they need to prove that this was an anomaly, that they need to somehow counter this by putting out a whole slew of anti-American films to counter the impact of this. And all in aggregate, those may add up to 1/10 of the box office of this film. You know, there's a great book by David Mamet, who used to be a liberal. In fact, he wrote a classic column in the Village Voice called Why I Am No Longer a Brain-Dead Liberal. And the book is called The Secret Knowledge. And Mamet describes being part of that tribe in Hollywood that never questions the assumptions. But there came a point in his life when he realized that what he was writing, the words that he was putting into the mouths of his characters, didn't reflect how he was actually living his life. Aha.
You know what, David Mamet's an amazing playwright, a great film writer, and a pretty good director, too. You need to check out his movies. All right, folks, I know I told you this was a pro-American movie, and for the final proof, I give you Captain America and Agent Phil Coulson.
Well, I hope I'm the man for the job.
Oh, you are. Absolutely. We made some modifications to the uniform. I had a little design input.
The uniform? Aren't the stars and stripes a little old-fashioned?
Everything that's happening, the things that are about to come to light, people might just need a little old-fashioned.